Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. Today is a special day because today we have a very special release. The release of the 50th anniversary of David Bowie's Diamond Dogs. Now, this is thrilling. And what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to be talking about and reviewing this new release. I'll be showing you the packaging. I'll be comparing it to other pressings, but I'm also going to be asking the question, um, taking a look at what's currently available. Is this actually a good buy? Is this a good purchase? What I'm not going to be doing is I'm not going to be talking about the album itself. If you're curious about my opinion with regard to Diamond Dogs, you can have a look up here. I'm just doing a full discography review series on the works of David Bowie, and my review of Diamond Dogs is in there. And without further ado, this pressing. I'll show you first off, well, the packaging of this 50th anniversary is nothing really special, but you might have noticed that there is an interesting obi here. This is the obi. Now, usually Abbey Road uses different kinds of obis, but this time they chose one that is not obstructing the artwork. Very interesting choice because the artwork is an interesting story itself. It was done by Guy Peelard, and Guy Peelard was introduced to Bowie by Mick Jagger because Mick Jagger at the time hired Guy Peelard to do the artwork for the Rolling Stones album It's Only Rock and Roll, But I Like It. Now, Bowie also liked it, the artwork that is, and he knew that Diamond Dogs would be released before It's Only Rock and Roll. So he asked Guy Peelard to do this incredible piece of artwork. And when it got released before the Rolling Stones one, Mick Jagger was not amused, and he later on said about it, beware of what you show to Bowie. Because if you are wearing new shoes, a week later, he might be wearing the same ones, and he'll wear them better. So that's interesting. And interesting choice for this obi. Also, this obi has something else that is interesting, because they are describing what we're going to be listening to. And I like it when a company is open. In this case, it reads, this record is a half-speed master. This record was cut on a fully customized lathe Neumann VMS80 lathe with fully recapped electronics from a 192 kilohertz restored masters of the original master tapes with no additional processing on transfer. So that is interesting. What are we listening to? We are listening to a a digital step in the process. There are no additional processings on the transfer, but it is a restoration of the master done electronically. So there is an electronic step in here, which doesn't necessarily need to be bad for a good quality pressing, but I would have been more enthusiastic if this release would have been done all analog. Again, I know there are very, very good pressings with a digital step. I have them here. Some MoFis are incredible with a digital step, but some of them are horrible. And all analog just sparkles the imagination more, and the chances of succeeding in a good transfer are also bigger. But then again, we do not know the shape of the master tape, so I'm not sure about that choice. Now, this pressing, they are doing something with the label. Also, it has a black inner sleeve. The label, it's quite like an original, but usually you would say RCA, and now they made it say Bowie, which is like a fun gag, but it's also done before on the 2016 pressing of this album. Now, the sound quality. What does it sound like? It is it's a bright representation. Now, if I am to compare this to an original, and I compared it to this one, the first UK that I found in London a couple of years ago. And to be frank, this is the best version of the album that I have heard. I owned other copies before. I owned a Dutch one, for example, and I thought the Dutch one might be a good choice because this record was also partially recorded in the Netherlands, here in Hilversum, which is rather near from where I live. And this is by far the best sounding pressing on the album. This is not an audiophile masterpiece. It does sound good. It's not very detailed production, or I haven't heard it, at least in a full incredible detail. It does have a gorgeous stereo. It has very good punch. It's a rocker of an album with very nice high, good low, and a very good punch. So this one, the first UK, is by far the best one for me. How does the 50th anniversary compare to that? This is absolutely a brighter version. And when you take a listen to the vocals and the mid-range, it is definitely more, slightly more detailed and a brighter representation. Now, the record has that going for it, and that is good. Then talking about the sound volume, it's pressed softer. The volume is not as loud on the original, and I prefer a louder pressing, but it doesn't have to be a problem because it's a new pressing, it's in good quality, and in most of the cases you can just crank up the volume. But we're not there yet. It's a very mid-focused pressing. The highs are really letting me down here. The original has a very good, full, detailed sounding drum, very nice cymbals, and that makes for a lot of punch in this album. Overall, the punch here is lacking in the highs and also in the low. Now, the bass here sounds very fuzzy, and somehow it sounds like it's boosted. It's a boosted, very bad defined, undefined bass, which reminds me of people on their bikes with bad bad boxes boosting bass because they just want to bump it up when they're on a bike. This is very odd. It's a very odd bass. I'm not very happy about it. Overall, it's not a horrible pressing. It's an okay-ish representation, but it doesn't have the punch. It doesn't have the power of the original. Yet, an argument can be made that these first UK pressings are not laying around everywhere. So if you're not going to find a first UK, is this then the best one to grab? And for that question, I brought the 2016 pressing along, which I bought in the box set a couple of years ago, and it was worldwide released in 2017. This is not identical to the 50th anniversary pressing, but it sounds a lot alike. I'm even wondering perhaps they used the same restored digital master tape here. But there are yet some differences. This one has a slightly better drum. It's more detailed, more present, and the bass also doesn't have that horrible boosted, undefined problem. It's not a gorgeous bass here. It's not as on the first UK, but it's definitely better than on the 50th anniversary pressing. Now, comparing the two, both are easily available. You can buy them online. But this one, the 2016 pressing, goes for far little money. Now this one, I paid 37 euros for the 50th anniversary. And I'm not getting a good audiophile representation. It is not an upgrade to any of the pressings that I have, nor is it the best one easily available. So I'm not really happy with this 50th anniversary. So, what do you think? I'm curious. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.